life. Change our life means changing the behavior and attitude. Changing the behavior and attitude. So, if you classify and understand what is the role of the intellect and what is the role of the mind in self discovery or in anything, in any issue, in any event, in any relationship, the mind is impulsive. Oh, he's not appreciating me, invited me to the party, and look at this, mind starts gossiping inside you. But the intellect says, calm down. Now, who wins? That depends on you. Mind wins. You are ready to enter into anxiety, duality, conflict, reaction. Intellect wins. You are the winner. That is what our masters have been training. Now, if you apply this understanding while doing the practice of meditation, you will leave and drop all the unwanted thoughts. Oh, calm down. Do whatever you want to do. I'm absorbed into meditation. But when we are consistent in the practice, in reflection, in negating the false ideas and the impulsive images and the ideas coming to the mind during the practice of meditation or during our life. During our life. You got married, so from soulmate, you stepped into a marriage. So after 6 months, the mind has created a lot of impulsive thoughts. They are multiplying every day. Oh, she does not understand. Oh, she does not understand. And it is multiplying. It is multiplying. So it will definitely backfire. It is dictating over the intellect. And when it dictates over the intellect, then what? Enough is enough. Really? Who is responsible? You. Because you created enough is enough in your mind. You did not solve the challenges through your intellect. Intellect means knowledge, right knowledge. That is why our masters repeat it again and again. You study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. You don't study physics, you studied physics, how the remote works, and you put the book into the self, and the remote is outside. No, it's the Eastern wisdom. You're studying each and every layer of your thought, feeling, impulses, desires, understanding, and the mind becomes clear. It is so clear that you are sitting in front of a person and you can read their thoughts. It becomes so transparent. It has nothing to do with any power. It is normal. Study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. Why? Many answers. So let us take only one answer. Why we should study Eastern wisdom? Answer is study myself. But why? We are not what we think. I think I'm a husband and I'm a wife, and I'm a sibling and I'm a rich and I'm a poor. All these are thoughts. It is not your real nature. Why we study? What we think we are not. Yeah. I'm a dutiful, what you say, I'm a responsible wife, for example. Women are more, so let me take the side of women. So, I'm a responsible wife. It is only a thought, it is a label. You are none of them. To study, to know, to recognize what we think we are not. That is the first step. We have to get rid of all those labels, what we are not. So when we understand clearly what we are not, what is left? It cannot be negated. That is the real self. It is of the nature of pure consciousness, of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. How can you say? It is so simple. Tell me any human being who is seeking the stress and suffering in their life. We all are seeking peace and happiness, love and wisdom, is it not? Because I'm seeking love and wisdom, so obviously something within me is seeking what is that? So we reach there, and that reaching there is known as awakening. That is known as liberation. That is known as self realization. And you can give any. Let us move little further. What we think we are not. By body, I am. By senses, I am. By mind and ego, I am. What it means? I'm giving a lesson to you. So that I am is referring to the body. That body is here, and there five bodies are there. Senses, sights, name in the form, smell. So I become senses, I become the body, I become the mind, I become the ego. I'm none of them. It demands a very penetrating self inquiry. So now at one time I am the body, at second time I am the sense organ, at third time I am the mind and the ego. Who the hell I am? But because of ignorance, I continue to follow. We go by thought, we go by label, we go by position, we go by gender, we go by color. Means how many eyes are there inside you, framed by a thought. Once you remove that, what is left is the real self. Because we have many labels we carry forward in our personal, professional, social lives, and we feel we are doing good. Now, I'm fortunate I got married. After a few years, I'm unfortunate I got married. Two eyes now. So the master says, I don't have a complete right knowledge about who am I. I have an incomplete knowledge. That incomplete knowledge is ignorance. 5,000 years ago, the master says, Asato ma satgamaya. Modern psychology. There was no sight of modern psychology. Where is Asato ma satgamaya? Let us move from the ignorance to the real, ignorance to the wisdom. Let us move from the false eye to the real eye. 5,000 years ago. But there is a famous proverb in America, ignorance is bliss. Eastern wisdom says ignorance is suffering. Now compare. Now you can easily understand. Ignorance, I say, ignorance means I married to be happy, I divorced to be happy. Without knowing who is this first I who was happy and who is the second I who is unhappy. Continue the journey. So it means I am searching happiness outside first. I am searching happiness in others to be happy. Is it ever possible? But we continue. But we continue. Why? Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. So when we are not happy with one marriage, in India, I read the news that one 80 years old guy married 10 times and then he went to a psychiatrist to ask what's wrong with all the women. He was fortunate, at least he got an opportunity to marry 10 times. And you can easily understand what the psychiatrist should have told him that you are crazy, you are responsible. Now, see, because of incomplete knowledge about who am I search for happiness and I get the stress. Come on, honey, I love you. And the honey says, I hate you. So I'm searching happiness and he or she is giving me the hatred. It means where is the problem? So when I live in ignorance, I see the problem lies with you. But when I study the Eastern wisdom, I see the problem is in me. I have to get rid of these labels created by the thoughts. And that is why we are suffering. Otherwise, there is no chance of any suffering. We are not worthy of suffering. How can you say, last week also I suffered a lot since your last session? How many of you have those thoughts in your mind? So you see, this is the journey. Now we have reached to that stage where we can uh, understand how those principles were written. So, reminding you that mind, one's intellect should clearly understand. Put logic, ask why, where, when, everything. So, once you are clear, now your job of the intellect is to impress upon the mind. Are you going to practice every day in the morning? Going to listen? I'm not important. Knowledge, what I'm passing on, is very important. That is why you have to listen and learn, contemplate and reflect. So, and you wait. Every day you will discover how the mind reveals. It minimizes your impulsive thoughts, desires, etc., etc., etc. So then Master gives some ideas of the real self. How you have 5 ounces of gold converted into necklace, earring, nose pin, etc., etc. When it is converted into these different items of names and the forms, does the weight of the gold decreases or increases? It remains the same. It remains the same. So it means the goal changes into different name and the form which is picked up by the mind as a thought, gives a label, and there is the problem. Now you melt all the items. Ultimately, you return to the gold. So gold is never gone anywhere. But we don't recognize the gold. We recognize earring, necklace. We recognize husband and a wife, sibling, brother and a sister. We don't recognize the gold that lies within us. Gold is the real. Another logic the master helps us to understand that why you have changed so many, why you change your behavior and attitude, why you have different thoughts, why you love and hate the same person, why you like and dislike the same person. Is it you and your mind because of your impulsive desire, because of your demand, because of you have a pleasure seeking mind? Your mind creates multiple false I by which you are working in your daily life. So there the master gives another reason. 10 plus 25 is 35. Prove it. What I proved. So I picked up 10 items, I counted, I picked up 25 items, and then I counted the whole. So it is 35. Why I said so? It is 35 in US, in India, in Australia, everywhere. But why I become different at different places, in different relations? So it means my mathematical equation of the reality is changing. What is changing is not me. So they come to the conclusion that whatever is changing is not me. The moment I hooked myself to what is changing, I will be in trouble. So, should I drop what is changing? No. You should only understand inside. I was 5 years old, 10 years old, 25, 35, 45, now 66. So the moment I say I'm 66, I'm referring to the body, and body is constantly changing, hence I'm not the body. I will stick to 10 plus 25 is 35. That I, which is inside, beyond the body, is the real I. Otherwise, people say, now I'm old, so I will die. Everyone dies. If you go to Australia, you won't die. you, you go to India, you won't die. You go to the Himalayas, you won't die. But what dies is the body. I don't die. So we have to discover that I. So you see, slowly, step by step, we are. So then the master says that yes, the goal of the human life of every human being, goal of every human being is self-discovery. Why? Because I want to live in peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom all the time, in all the relations, in all the events. And if that is our goal, it must come from within me. And if it must come from within me, it means I am of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. And that is what we are discovering by studying the Eastern wisdom. So, what about the goals in life? Goals in life is part. It, we are picking up the goals in life means which is changing. Career, job, profession, marriage, divorce, etc. It's all they are changing. So the outer is the goals in life, but the common goal of life is the same for every human being. That is discovery of that real self. Whether you are a scientist or you are Elon Musk or everyone is searching. So we have reached to that level, but again ask the question, why does the mind struggle to accept the truth we are? Mind is conditioned by the past experiences. It started its journey unconsciously in ignorance the moment we were born. We didn't know who are my parents, which country I'm born, what is the outer situations, nothing. And then our upbringing is also heavily conditioned by the society, by the culture, by the religion, by the dogma. People scare you. Oh, there is a ghost if you do this. You are a sinner. Go and confess your sin. Look at this. So people have started distancing themselves from the religion. Whenever I go to the priest and priest says, confess you are a sinner, I don't believe in religion. So those impressions are fed, and these impressions continue to multiply, and they are expressed with the false I, and that is why I am suffering. Otherwise, that is why the master I told you 5,000 years ago, second line, they say, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Let us move step by step from ignorance to wisdom. Then the third line is also very important. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Moving from mortality to the immortality. What is this? How to understand this? Once I recognize and realize that I am not the body, do you think what I'm thinking? I have recognized and realized that I am not the body. So I am neither born nor I will die. So the fear of death is gone. But as long as I continue to get identified, attached with the body, that I am the body. Who says I am the body? The thought. No, no, I have a pain. Your car meets with an accident, still you feel pain. What about the body? What about your body? So that causes lot of challenges for the intellect to understand the subjective reality. And then we have further principles to understand how to find that real self. So we go step by step. The mind is deeply rooted in the old pattern, conditioning, attachments, impulsive desires. Mind still holds lot of things to seek happiness from the world outside. I went for a surgery. Should I not go for it because I'm not the body? It means, the kitchen, sink is flowing with the water, so I should leave it. Why? Because I'm not the kitchen. What is this? So there has to be a clear understanding. Oh, this is a machine. Did I tell you that when the second right eye surgery, did I tell you last time? No. So I went there. So in the first surgery, I was totally unconscious. In the second, I saw those medical assistant, beautiful women were upset. Why? Because I realized that they saw this white beard and they saw, we have to take care of this guy. So I overheard. They said, okay, so and they put here and here blood and IV and all those. So I asked one of the medical assistant that, do you have any machine in your house which is 20 years old or more than 20 years? So they started looking at one another. They said, no, we don't have any machine. So I said, here is this machine, 66 years old, and it is doing good. So they did not understand, but after a few seconds, they understood. Oh, you're talking about, yes. So we have to check. I said blood pressure. I know it is 120 by 75. Check it. They came 120 by 79. So are you still conscious? We are taking you. I said, yes, I'm still conscious. So doctor put it and he said, this is, are you talking to me? I said, I'm talking. So what they did at this area is sedated, obviously. That's why I didn't feel it. So within 10 minutes, they said it is done. I said, you did it? Yes, we did it. So it does not mean that we don't care the body. No, we have to care. We care the car, we care all the gadgets in we care the home. There, but only one difference. There is a wisdom that they are my instruments. I am none of them. When you live into that awareness, how you live into that awareness? Inside your head. That is why we say mindfulness is choiceless awareness. That is why the mindfulness is known as the highest state of consciousness. So, highest state of consciousness means there is no tag attached to it. The instruments are different. I am different. You realize I am the real self of the hmm, nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. That is what we want to find out. That is the subject matter of meditation. Meditation is not to see the colors, beautiful. Why you want to see the colors in meditation when you can see through your naked eyes? What is special in it? Why you want to go into imagination? Now I go into heaven, I see all the pleasures, all the drinks are available. That is why you are in the hell. So we created a lot of negative things and conditioning around this meditation. Luckily, I was fortunate to get that master who get rid of. He said, no, leave all this. It will destroy you. Close your eyes are closed. Place of the body, position, and posture, and understanding. Again, you apply the knowledge. Don't allow the mind to start the figment of imagination and other stuff. No, it is not required. So, is there any stress or struggle? Find out it is the mind is causing the stress and struggle. I simply said, close your eyes gently, become aware of the position and the posture. Where is the problem? But the mind becomes so much offensive or defensive. Then I made it very simple. Be comfortable means that you change the direction of the mind. Again, you see changing the direction of the mind. You are going into your house, you open the main door. Your mind is facing to your home. You left the outside world. And then you say, oh, let me relax and sit in my living room. Exactly the same thing. You have to be perfectly normal. And that what I do, that door, so we have to check. You look at the neck joint, you feel it. Very feeling is awareness in the opposite direction, opposite to the world. And then you look inside, you find the space, and then you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. It has to be extraordinary natural movement because the mind creates a habitual and impulsive movement, and that is a blockage. So, how to remove? First, we have a clear understanding. Knowledge part is very important. And we keep that knowledge during the practice of meditation. So, just feel the whole body right, left, back, front. So, whole body, mind has an image. Now, you look inside the body and look inside the body. Your mind imagines, so there is a blankness in this space. Very good. We follow it. And then in that state, we experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Simple, as if you are just moving on a water. It is so soft in the light. That is a higher awareness, not struggle, especially in meditation, being carefree. So, is what I said, being carefree, that I recognize that all the thoughts are the contents, and the deeper layer of the mind is full of emptiness, the space. I gave you many examples. The sky, the birds flying in the sky, nothing happens to the sky. So one area of the mind where the thought has no entry, and that is our space. So I made it little more formal. I said, look deep inside the forehead in the space. Continue looking into the space. One thought comes, let it come. Other thought comes, let it come. It goes away, let it go. Because you claim you own all the thoughts, that is why you want to control the mind. Tumbler full of water, and you feel this tumbler owns the water. No, tumbler is a container only. And the water is different and separate from it. That awareness is being carefree as per the knowledge and as per the practice that I already gave you. Now we can go naturally a little deeper through our self awareness. So we understood that these thought creates different labels, and with the impulsive desires and the habits, all causes totally ignorance. So, for to understand that, we say there is a physical body. What is physical? That is perceived by the sense organs. I can perceive my body through the sense organ. Even the doctor takes your x rays, it is physical. Whatever is seen by the sense organs. So, this is the physical body. What is the subtle body? The mind, intellect, ego, and the memory. Just remember that. Why to remember? Suddenly any thought attacks your mind, and you say, oh, it is the subtle body. I'm not the subtle body. And what is the cause of these two, subtle in the physical body, is the causal body. What is it? Is the cause of both. What is that cause? Is the ignorance. We'll understand that simply. So, what is beyond that ignorance is the real self. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Now comes the repeat practice by the mind. We should not forget. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Let everyone be happy. H, acronym, heart. Sarve santu niramaya. Eliminate illness. Illness identified with the body and the mind, not with the real self. So I'm separate from all the illnesses. It doesn't mean that I should not take care. And the third one, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, auspicious vision. Let everyone have a grace and a blessing. Ma kaschid dukha bhaga bhavi. Let no one suffer from misery in this world. R, relief. And T is the tranquility. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Because lot of those heavy conditioning, impulsive thoughts are covering that, veiling the real self. So I have to pierce through. And that piercing is done by this Shanti mantra. Take one example, happiness for all. Why? If you say, let everyone be happy, will the world be ever happy? No and yes. No, we already know it. Why it is yes? I start realizing that happiness is my essential nature. What? If it is my essential nature, then it is the essential nature of every human being. That is the meaning. Let everyone be happy. So, as you continue, repeat, practice what you realize. Your honey becomes agitated and angry over you. Oh, he or she is angry to find the happiness because we all are searching happiness. But I'm studying Eastern wisdom, so it is my responsibility not to, you can complete it. Why? So you have a revelation and you change your habit, behavior, and gradually you get rid of those impulsive desires. One example. So let us look at the other step. Look at the flow of the breath. What is the flow of the breath? We at least, for the last couple of sessions, we are doing passive practice. We'll be doing active one also, based on the subject matter. So You are in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness in the body. And the breath is flowing naturally. You are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. So, when I say you are simply looking and feeling the breath, you are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. But then what happens, Yeah, you have a storm of the thoughts, and that disturbs not only your breathing, but also it takes your awareness away from the breath. What should I do? I understand that these thoughts are contents, whether good or bad. I return again and I say, let me be aware of the flow of the breath. Why? The flow of the breath helps me to live in a present moment. Any feeling comes, your intellect says, feel the breath. Good feeling, no, feel the breath. Bad feeling, feel the breath. So when you have that knowledge, your mind returns to the flow of the breath. Why? To live in the present moment. How can you say to live in the present moment? Are you aware of yesterday's breath now or just the present flow of the breath? You cannot be aware of what breath you had yesterday. Oh, is that the process of bringing the mind back to the present moment? Answer is yes. Then what happens? We should be very clear what happens. It is the death of the impulsive mind. As long as you maintain your awareness of the breath, flow of the breath, without changing the rate and the rhythm, you're helping the impulsive mind to die its own death, which contains many I's. Yes, why repeat practice? When you are repeating the practice, gradually you move deeper and deeper. You have many visions and colors. You get absorbed deeper. You experience the tingling and the numbness. One day it happens that the mind says, I want to go deeper. And you are absorbed for hours together. I'm not using any mantra also today. So when you don't use any tool, it is a higher journey of meditation. But the mind poses a lot of challenges, so we have other steps also. So you see that you look at the flow of the breath. Okay, you are looking at the flow of the breath is going in. So let us explore little deeper. Explore intellect. Breath goes in and comes out. Now I feel something like what? I feel something like sensation at the tip of the nose. Very good. Every time do you feel the sensation when the breath flows in and out naturally without changing your rate and the rhythm? Now see how the masters have discovered it is written in different texts. The breath outside is always little cooler than our body temperature. So when the breath goes in, it strikes at the tip of the nose, you have a feeling of coolness if you are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And when the breath returns, comes out, you feel some warmth. So Buddha said, just experience those sensations that is happening in the present moment, and the mind will be absorbed. So what happens? The mind merges with the breath. Merging, then what happens? Merging means what? No mind state. Where is no mind state? You have transcended the mind. And there we may have some unusual experiences. So let it happen. We have already learned for so many weeks and months. Today we did a practice which is natural flow of the mind, dropping all the layers which are only the instruments which we claim as me and I am. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. Bring the hands down, we'll share our experiences. How are you, Charlie?
I feel very calm and centered.
Good. Remember, it is both the practice plus the knowledge, because the knowledge, for the time being, kept our impulsive mind at a bay. And then we did the practice of meditation. So that is why I give a talk first, followed by the practice. So, what is your responsibility to pay attention? Listening and learning. How are you, Sophie?
Thank you, Girish. I'm very good. I know that at some point I heard you, but I was not listening.
Good.
But I didn't fall asleep or what, and then my cat came.
Oh, cat can.
But that's
Yes.
okay. That's all right. It's it, it
Yes,
didn't
it is a
disturb.
kind of self absorption. Our mind is like a wild beast. How to understand this principle? Simple. You leave all the pet dogs and the cat outside. and then see what happens. They will naturally go wild. They are living in a controlled environment. We are live, our mind is living in a controlled environment. How are you, John?
Hey, Girish, I'm fine. I've felt distracted at times by thoughts coming and going, not the fire station or anything like that. just
Okay.
just thoughts coming and going.
Yeah, yeah, let it come and let it go. When I own the responsibility of these thoughts, then I get distracted. Whatever is happening in the neighbor's home, let it happen. Who cares? But if I feel no, something, it is happening to me. So that, the second step is very important. So while doing the practice regularly, third step, being aware or not carefree, that is important step. But it will happen. How are you in?
Yeah, I feel fine and quiet. I notice that for some reason I feel very quiet and I try to follow what you say. But the strange thing when I listen to the meditation, it's completely new as I've never heard you before, which is very strange. So I try. So I think I have attention deficit sometimes,
uh,
which is whatever, the mind probably.
last 250 years, these psychologists, yes, I studied psychology, but so I am included. These crazy psychologists have one thing to do. They discover more than 3,000 illnesses. Another 5,000 is coming in another 10 years. So from there, you learned attention deficit. Let it be so. You continue the practice of meditation. So that is also a big problem. We are fed impulsively. No, all those things, Am I aware of the breath? Oh, attention is gone. Thank you. Am I aware of the breath now? Yes. Done. Where is attention? Don't give your label to you. That is all for today. We will meet again. Thank you.